Hi, today I wanted to do a quick review of two pens that I found at a local stationery store, and they are both Pilot pens, the Pilot Razor Point 2 and the Pilot Fineliner. I hadn't seen these anywhere before, but I picked them up there when I saw them, and then once I got home and I was looking for them on the internet, I easily found them online, but I had never seen these pens before, and anytime I see something new in the store, I always want to try it. They were pretty inexpensive. The Pilot Fineliner, they're both in plastic. They're both a plastic pen. They both have nice clips. And this is the tip of the Pilot Fineliner. It's like a felt tip marker feel to it. And then this is the Razor Point. So you can see there's quite a huge difference between those two. But they're definitely both like a thin line pen. And I just have to say I like the packaging of the Pilot Razor Point too. It's, if you can't see it, it's like a blue jean color, but it has silver sparkles in it, and I believe they all had sparkles in them. So I got one in blue and one in black, and I'm just going to do a quick writing sample, and then I'm going to show you a comparison with some other pens that you might be familiar with. If you're in the market for a really fine tip pen, I tend to like those because it lets you get more detailed, especially if you have small spaces. So here we go. This is the Pilot, what's this, Razor Point. Two. And as you can see, just like any, well, I shouldn't say just like any, but this glides smoothly across the paper. It dries really quickly. This is Clairefontaine paper, so if it's going to smudge on this, it would smudge, right? But because it's laying down such a thin line, we don't have that issue. This is the Pilot Fineliner. So let's do a writing sample of that. As you can see, for both of these, even though they have a thin line, nice vibrant color. I don't see it being washed out because it's such a thin line. The Fineliner is obviously a little thicker, and the interesting thing about the Fineliner, because it has a little more of that felt tip available, you can do fine lines, right? Or if you turn it sideways, you can actually make quite a bit thicker line. So if you're looking for like a really fine tipped marker kind of pen, this would be a good choice. So I'm just going to compare them with a few other pens that you might be familiar with, just so you can get an idea of the tip size, just because there's no indication on the pen of that. So here is the Pilot Fineliner, and I'm just going to draw a nice long line so that we can do a comparison. Here is the Razor Point. And now I'll show you a few others that I thought would be good to compare it to. This is the Pilot hi-tec C mica in a 0.3. And I have to say, obviously the smaller the tip of the pen, the more it's going to kind of feel like it cuts into your paper. But these are super smooth. Obviously this one is, but this one too is just super smooth. It doesn't dig into the paper at all. Like this mica definitely digs into the paper even with very little pressure. I have a Sleechy 0.3, and it's the same way with this. It digs into the paper with very little pressure. Then I have one of my favorite pens of all time, the uni-ball 0.38. For as small of a tip as that has, I don't feel like it digs into the paper at all. It glides nice and smoothly across the top. And then the hi-tec C Kaleido in a 0.4. So if we're looking at the comparison, this was the Fineliner, then the next up is the Razor Point. Oops. Then we have the mica, the Sleechy, the uni-ball Sino, and the Kaleido. I would say because these are 0.3, this is a 0.38, a 0.4, even though these are really fine tipped pens, they're going to land somewhere around the 0.4, 0.5 area. Let me see if I have a 0.5 handy now that I'm looking at it. let's try this one. The Pilot Precise V5 retractable. That's very similar to the Razor Point. In fact, I would say that these two are pretty much the same size. Pilot Precise V5 and the Razor Point look exactly the same. That's a jet stream, that's not going to help us. Yeah. So, if you have a Pilot Precise V5, I bet that's a 0.5 tip, so I'm guessing these are probably 0.5s as well. Anyway, they're a great little pen, super inexpensive, great writing experience if you're looking for somewhere in the 0.5 area, because, you know, a 0.3 like the Sleechy is just way too tiny for you. Maybe you want to give these a go because they're not that expensive and they're easy to find online. I saw them on Amazon, I believe, for pretty inexpensive. Alright, thanks for watching and subscribing, and as always, I appreciate your comments. Have a great day. Bye-bye.